Hi everybody, Kyle Austin, MLive.com here with Andrew Kahn, MLive.com, our Michigan beat writer. After Michigan's 82-72 win over Michigan State here at Westwood Center, obviously pretty surprising upset. I think Michigan came in a 13-point favorite, and I think the biggest first thing I look at, Mo Wagner here, career game, 27 points, 8 for 13, really a matchup problem. What was he doing better tonight than he has been doing earlier this year?
Yeah, there was so much talk about the Mo Wagner-Nick Ward battle, and it just never really materialized because of Nick Ward just being on the bench for long stretches, and even Mo's foul trouble early on. But despite his foot injury, which Michigan now was saying today that there was some doubt of whether he'd even play, he looked like the Mo of old. Michigan State, depending on who guards him, isn't the greatest matchup for him, and he made a couple shots early from the outside. He was able to drive by some of the slower defenders, and he was just so confident and had that good emotion, that positive emotion, not that got a little too excited.
That we saw last year.
Right.
I'm from Michigan. I mean, you mentioned it. Michigan State. I mean, he's a matchup nightmare. They have bigger bigs that aren't as mobile. He's a pick and pop guy. He can drive from the 3-point line to the basket. Michigan State just doesn't have a lot of guys big enough that are that mobile to do it. We saw Nick Ward only play, I think, 14 minutes, 4 points. Obviously, that was huge. But Tom Izzo actually blamed the guards a lot too. He said the ball screen defense was really as poor as it's been all year. So it's you can look at Nick Ward. He didn't play great, but I think it was a whole team effort and just him being a very difficult matchup at Michigan State not dealing with it very well. Takeaway number 2, the quote that stuck out to me in the locker room, we just left it for Michigan State. Miles Bridges came right out and he said, "Michigan out-toughed us." And if you're a Michigan State fan or a Michigan State player, knowing how they play basketball here, what they value, I mean, that's about the most difficult sentence you can say, I think, after a game like this. Because that hasn't always been the case. I mean, Michigan State obviously always values the toughness, the grit, the rebounding, and stuff like that. But, I mean, how big was it for Michigan to really come in here today and be able to win in that?
Yeah, it was incredibly impressive. Wagner was asked about the toughness of this team and whether, a win like this after, hanging with Purdue, another top 5 team right down to the final seconds, kind of, puts that toughness talk away. And he said that is long in the past. And, because I think of Michigan's style, the way they, have skilled players and like to shoot threes, which is sort of the modern game now, they can get tagged with that, untough, soft label. But, yeah, Michigan protecting itself on the boards was really the key to the game.
It was. And, Michigan State, I don't think it hasn't cost them a game. The toughness, I haven't thought it's the toughest team Tom Izzo has failed it. I think today was the first day I felt like, wow, they were not the tougher team on the court, and it really cost them a game today. That's the first time I've really say that all year.
Absolutely.
Takeaway number 3, and you just first mentioned it, I feel like we always talk about rebounds after this game because these coaches are so different in their styles and as far as how they value it, but Michigan comes in here, Tobias Lynn gets 11 offensive rebounds compared to Michigan State. They took 17 more shots. That was a big part of it along with Michigan State's turnovers, but you talk about things you're not expected to do. I mean, that's pretty big for Michigan.
Right. I mean, it was the turnovers and the rebounding. That's how you get extra possessions. That's kind of Beilein's whole philosophy. But Beilein was saying coming into this week, is this team for real on the defensive backboard? Because the numbers were good from Michigan, but Purdue, Michigan State, now we were going to see if it was for real. And I asked him after the game, do you believe in it now? And he smiled, laughed, and said that he had to, basically. Yeah. The way they did in that aspect today. I mean, Michigan State missed 25 shots and they got 8 offensive rebounds. That's not
very far below their average.
Sure. Yeah, they top 5 in the country, I think, in getting offensive rebounds. So, Charles Matthews helps in that regard. Wagner helps in that regard. I was just talking to an assistant coach, Luke Yaklich, and he was saying, listen, preseason, we talked to Mo, can you be a better rebounder? He said, yes, give me 2 or 3 more a game, and that's what he's done.
Yeah. All right, well, that'll do it. Plenty of coverage at MLive.com/Spartans and MLive.com/Wolverines, and thanks for watching.